Hey guys. Hi, I'm going to just give everyone a second to come on in, get settled. This is the class on 3 practices to end emotional eating from a recovered binge eater. Spoiler alert. So get yourself settled. I recommend getting comfy, grab some water because we're going to be here for about an hour. Get a pen and paper or something to take notes so that you can jot down any thoughts or questions. Basically, how today is going to go is I'm going to take you through this really amazing PowerPoint that I put together. And honestly, it's not for like you to like sit and read. And I'm not one of those presenters that's going to be like reading off the slide. It's more just so people who visually learn better can have that accessible to them. People who learn better auditory can have that accessible to them. And we are going to be doing some extras, like we're going to be doing some work today. This is not just going to be a sit back and listen sort of presentation. This is going to be you actively getting to do some of these practices with me in real time, because honestly, that's the way that I learn. I have to do it. I have to do it. And if I can do it with the instructor, it'll stick with me and I'll remember it way better, way, way better. So I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes to jump in. Hi guys, so good to see you. Please feel free to say hi and comment, and I will definitely be checking the chat. I'll be asking you some questions throughout today's workshop. So definitely write in the chat. I want to hear from you. I want to see what's real for you. And also it helps me like tailor this workshop specifically for you. And that obviously will give you way more value than if I was just sitting here talking to a screen. So I'm going to introduce myself, and I also want to bring up the presentation. If you're on Facebook, you may not be able to see it, but there will be a replay that's put out. So if you want to see the replay with the beautiful visuals that I put together, and I'm saying that because I'm very proud of myself for putting this little prezo together for you, then just drop me your email and I'll send you the replay with everything. All right, bear with me 2 seconds. There we go. Ta-da! All right, I have my water next to me. So today's workshop is about 3 practices to end emotional eating from a recovered binge eater, and that is me. Hi, I'm Christine Coen. I'm a New York City based registered dietitian and fitness professional. I've been in the industry for about 10 years doing one-on-one training, group fitness instruction, nutrition coaching, and of course, coaching people to overcome their struggle with binge eating, emotional eating, and depression and anxiety as well. So I do live in New York City, but I've been hanging out with my family on Long Island for the summer and through the last few months, because honestly, nature does wonders for my mental health, and being cooped up inside, not really having an accessibility to get outside very often, or having to jump on the train to get to Central Park has been a little bit of a mental challenge for me. So I'm here and I'm able to get my nature fix, which helps me stay strong and mentally just at my best. Because I actually struggled with depression, anxiety, and binge eating in my 20s. It developed, funnily, around the time that I just began my career as a fitness professional and dietitian. And it was something that I worked through to overcome, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in the talk today, in the workshop today. But I just wanted to share that my favorite food, and I do want to hear from you, my favorite food is pizza. So much. Followed by a cupcake. So good. What flavor cupcake? Good question. Anything from Magnolia Bakery. Yeah, anything from Magnolia Bakery in New York. And the last thing that I wanted to share with you, just as like a fun icebreaker, is I love salsa dancing so much. I love it so much. I miss it so much. I started taking lessons earlier this year and that kind of cut short, but I've been doing my best to keep up what I learned, and I miss dancing. I miss dancing with another partner. All right, so I want you to say hi, introduce yourself, where are you from, and since we're going into the fall, what is your favorite autumn activity? And also tell me what your favorite food is right now. Any food, any activity. If I had to pick a specific fall activity, it would be apple picking, followed by probably making pumpkin pie and then watching some sort of fall Halloween movie. Yes, pumpkin picking, apple picking. I'm seeing you guys say. We have New York, we have California, we have Florida, we have Massachusetts, we have Ireland. What? That's crazy. Say hi to my family in Galway. Okay, guys, I'm going to move into the topic. So you're in the right place today if you feel completely out of control around food, and once you eat maybe a certain food or it hits a certain time of day, like nighttime or after work, once you feel that urge to binge, you feel like you can't stop yourself. You're thinking about food all the time from the moment you get up. It's what can I eat? What should I eat? What did I eat yesterday? I feel so guilty about that. What can I do today? F it, I'm just gonna throw it all out the window. Hey Celine, yeah, Dublin. My family's on the other side. I'm in Galway, but quick hi over there. I love Ireland. You're in the right place today if you've woken up from a binge the night before and you feel swollen, you feel lethargic, you feel puffy, you feel disgusting, like just flat out. If you've ever felt your skin, like your body feels like there's a bruise all over it from the water retention, from the amount of food that you ate the night before, and your thoughts are just like, oh, how much did I eat the night before? How bad was the binge? How much am I going to have to struggle through today to feel better? When is this going to stop? And you just take yourself through that. Please let me know if this is resonating with you. And if not, like, feel free to ask questions throughout this workshop. This is for you, and I will definitely get to them at the end of it. You're in the right place today if you feel like you're addicted to food, addicted to sugar, you have certain foods that are trigger foods for you, and blatantly if you just don't trust yourself around food. So like you restrict yourself whenever you can because you're trying to balance out those binge times. Like if you basically know, I always binge eat at night, and so I'm going to restrict as much as I can during the day, because if I eat during the day and binge at night, I'm going to be eating even more calories. So you restrict, and you know that the binge is inevitable. It's like you just can't stop yourself. So let me know, does this sound like you? And I know this is a really hard topic and it's not fun and it's something that's hard to own up to. And I know that when I was struggling, I felt really embarrassed and I didn't know who to talk to about it. But I just want to say this is an open space. This is a place where I get it. I want you to feel at least like you're not the only one struggling, at the very least. So tell me, as you're watching this, tell me in the chat, do you want to be able to stop the cycle of eating the good foods and the bad, like feeling good and bad about what you're eating without fear of weight gain? Because I know that's always in the back of our minds when we're struggling. We're just see the pounds adding up. We see the weight going up on the scale. That just adds another layer of stress and shame and guilt in addition to the behaviors that we know are not making us feel good at all, making us feel probably the worst that we had. I know that when I was struggling, I would say to myself all the time, I would never wish this on another person, on my worst enemy. So tell me in the chat, do you just wish you could handle like the regular ups and downs of life without like needing food to get you through it, without turning to food to get through that stressful situation outside of like a pandemic, just regular life stuff? And tell me in the chat, and this one really gets me, what you really want is to stop missing moments of your life because you're so controlled by food. Think about it. all the moments that you're numbing out from, all the moments that you're missing because you choose to not physically be there, or you're just not mentally there. Either you are so consumed by the thoughts of food and what you ate and what you shouldn't eat, or you just cancel plans because you are in too much pain mentally or physically after a binge, or you just are like, F it. Like, I'm premeditating and I'm just canceling the plans because I know that Friday nights I just want to stay home and binge. Like, I'd rather just be by myself. It's too much stress. It's too much anxiety. I just won't want to deal with it. So all right, getting ahead of myself. And I know that's a really hard place to be. And I've been there and I've done all those things. So I want you to just take a moment, take a deep breath in and let it out, and ask yourself, what would it be like to not fear like a bad day will set you off down this overeating food frenzy where you don't know where you're going to come up for air? To have your mind free, what would it be like to have your mind free from those thoughts, those obsessive consuming thoughts about food, and have that space open to maybe discover what you love to do, what makes you come alive, being present in your life, really connecting with people, your loved ones, a moment, the environment, to wake up feeling excited about the day, alive, vibrant, like looking forward to what the day has to bring, instead of, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to make up for this failure of a binge again? Here I am again. What would it feel like to enjoy any food without fearing it will trigger you to overeat? That might be hard to imagine from where you're sitting, but I want you to try. And what would it be like to eat a meal, just enjoy it, be totally satisfied, totally satiated, or like a food that maybe you even consider, like, I could never eat that. I can't eat that food ever now because I can't stop myself when I do. For me, it was peanut butter and it was ice cream. Those were two big ones, but honestly, it could have been anything at some point. Like, once the gate was open, it was all, no holds barred. But to eat a meal, to enjoy it, and then just move on with your day. Like, yeah, I had my fill, I'm satisfied, I'm satiated, I enjoyed the crap out of it, and now I'm just living my life. On to the next thing. What would that feel like? Do you remember a time where maybe that you practiced that? So what are we going to learn today? Let's get into the meat of this. You're going to learn the difference between the urge to binge and binge eating. You are going to learn some practices to ground yourself when you do feel the urge to binge, because there's space there between the urge and the action. And I'm going to take you through all of those practices one by one together. We're actually going to do them together, which is pretty cool. So, quick story. I'll tell you a little bit about me. Let me move myself. Boop. Let's move me back. Okay. So in 2012, I became a registered dietitian and a personal trainer. I did it in college. I knew that I wanted to help people be healthy. And ironically, it was also the year that I started binge eating. And it was also the year that I started to become struggling with depression and anxiety pretty much for the first time ever in my life. In a few months, I gained 30 pounds. I was binging multiple times a week. I was eating in secret. I was hiding food. Like, I would sneak into the kitchen in the middle of the night when my family was asleep, and I would sneak back up to my room and just eat in bed, staying awake, watching TV. I would cancel plans after binges because I would just feel so sick and bloated and just feel so uncomfortable in my clothes, and I felt like I couldn't see people. But I felt that way, and I was so embarrassed about my behaviors that I just didn't even want to. Sometimes I would cancel plans ahead of time because the anxiety, the urge would just get the better of me, and I would rather stay home, isolate myself, stay in that like deep, dark place and just binge eat to numb from myself, numb the feelings. But meanwhile, I was ashamed for my behaviors. I was guilty. Like, I felt so guilty about the canceling, the flaking out on friends. Just, I felt guilty about my behavior. I felt like a failure all of the time because I was supposed to be this person that like looked a certain way, knew supposedly knew how to eat healthy. I'm supposed to go to work and help people learn to eat healthy for themselves, and I can't even keep my own together. Do you know what I mean? I felt like a fraud every day. And that to me was like another layer that just added to the snowball effect of me using binge eating as a coping mechanism. I didn't want to go out with friends. I didn't want to date. I didn't want to connect with people. I didn't even want to connect to myself. I just wanted to numb everything with food. I felt like I had no energy to help myself. I think from this vicious cycle of binge eating, which definitely zaps your energy, to the anxiety, which certainly can steal energy, and depression as well. All of these things fed into each other. It wasn't like one started, then the other. It kind of felt like they all appeared at the same time. And it wasn't for no reason. There was some serious stuff happening in my life, in my personal life that was happening, and I didn't know how to handle it. And I was trying to just manage everything at the same time, and I was overworking myself, was burning the candle at both ends, and I just didn't understand how to self-care, soul care. I didn't know what I really needed. I just would turn to food to escape. I didn't even know why I was doing it at the time, to be honest. And most of the time I just wanted to sleep through the day. Thank you for sharing that, Kat. Sometimes we can have certain points of our life where we were eating in a way that was nourishing our body, and we did find a way that worked for us. But for whatever reason, it wasn't sustainable, or we couldn't maintain it. And maybe we find ourselves back at this point of using food as a coping mechanism again. And that's totally okay, because we're learning, we're here, and we're open to growing. And that's really all we can do. So in my story, I finally began to realize like this was a deeper issue than just I can't control myself around food. Like this is not a nutrition problem. This is not a diet problem. This is not a weight loss problem. Believe me, I tried all the diets. I tried all of the things, but I wasn't consistent with anything. I couldn't stay focused on anything. Exercise went out the window. It was like the last thing I wanted to do. And something clicked, and I realized this is deeper than weight loss. This is deeper than a meal plan or a diet. I need to look at something else. That's the only way I'm going to recover through this. So I was desperately grabbing for this low-hanging fruit, like, oh, I'll just try this diet, or I just need to restrict my food even more, or I'm going to cut out all carbs, or I got to stop eating sugar. And I would give myself these unrealistic expectations, which I would fail at, and I would just feel worse and worse. And the restriction part, the feeling like a failure part, they just added into my desire to binge and feeding those binge urges. So tell me in the chat. So let me just wrap up my story first before I ask you this. So my recovery began once I started to own that realization that this is a deeper problem. I'm using food as a way to escape. I'm using food as a way to disconnect from my emotions. I'm using food as a way to not face these uncomfortable situations and take responsibility for things that I need to show up for in my life. And it's going to be really freaking hard. And most of this is not my fault. But if I continue down this road, I'm not going to get any better. I'm going to get a lot worse. And I'm going to continue missing like my life. I'm in my 20s, for God's sakes, at this time. I was in my 20s. Like, I don't want to miss moments of my life, prime moments of my life, where I'm sitting home by myself for weekend after weekend at a time, depressed, watching TV, and eating. I don't want to do that anymore. So now, tell me in the chat, what would it feel like for you to stop missing moments of your life because binge eating is stealing them away from you? And if you weren't using food to disconnect from the moment, what might you be fully present for? What might you be able to see, be connected to, that you are missing out at right now? That's a big question. I'm going to let you answer, and I'm going to take a sip of water. Thank you for your vulnerability, guys. I appreciate that so much. I would finally feel like I could connect with my friends. I would finally start dating again. Yes. I would be able to enjoy spending time with my kids and my grandkids and baking with them. That's cool. I would feel awake and vibrant enough to get up and move my body, exercise in the morning. I would feel more alive and excited about my work, or maybe even have the guts to do work that's really meaningful to me. That's a big one. Being more confident. Thank you for sharing that. So much more energy for gardening. Connecting with friends. Yeah, Celine. Having that confidence would open the doors to so many things. It's like we're hiding behind the binge eating, because even though it's like a miserable place to be, and we all know that, but we get something from it. It's actually serving a need for us, whether it's avoiding pain or staying in our comfort zone, giving us like this out for, well, I can't do it because I'm still struggling with binge eating. Like, once you break through and you are no longer struggling to stop binge eating, like once you attain that food freedom, or you're in that process and you're really working on food freedom, and listen, it doesn't take long to get there, but it's a mindset shift. For sure, it's a mindset shift. But once you stop putting all of that mental energy into stopping binge eating, and you start to donate that mental energy to just creating beauty in your days, in your life, showing up in an energetic, vibrant way, like what's in your way? The sky is the limit. For sure. Yeah. Thank you guys for being super vulnerable. I appreciate that so much. Okay, so where do we start? Pen and paper time, or note-taking time on your laptop or on your phone? We're getting to the good stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, self-awareness. In what way? So we're going to do an exercise that is going to bring self-awareness to what are some of the triggers for us to have a binge urge. So there's two really great books that I love to talk about during the habit discussion. One is called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, and the other is called The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Both are excellent. And in it, they both have a description of a habit loop, which generally looks like a trigger, which leads to a craving. That's not on my page right now, but a trigger that leads to a craving, which leads to an action, which leads to a reward. So today we're going to look at triggers, the things that cue us to start to have that craving for something. Just to break it down a little bit more. So the trigger is the cue, and it could be anything. And I'm going to take you through some examples in a second, just to kind of get your brain juices flowing on that. The craving is going to be the binge urge for us in this particular situation. The action is the act of eating, is the act of whatever that is, like driving to the store or going into the kitchen, sitting down and actually doing the binge eating part. And the reward is what we get from it, because we actually, like I was saying, do get something out of the act of binge eating. It helps us avoid pain. It allows us to stay comfortable. It's easier. It may be like really cozy. Like there may be a part of it that you like because you're sitting on your couch and you're warm and you're cozy and you're watching a TV show maybe, and you are just eating this food that allows your taste buds to get this reward, and you can kind of just zone out and like forget about what's happening outside of those four walls and just be in this like little bubble, this little safety bubble. So in The Power of Habit, he discusses these 5 things that generally trigger all habits, good habits, bad habits, whatever. And he breaks it down into 5 things: location, time of day, emotion, a certain person or a certain personality, and an immediately preceding event. So real quick, let me just see what my next slide is. Okay, I don't want to get to that yet. Back. Okay, so location would be like your house or your room or your parents' house or work. Just giving you basic examples, obviously. It could be a certain time of day. So like clockwork, 3 p.m. every day. It could be like every single morning when your alarm goes off, you might hit snooze. That's literally a habit. The trigger is the alarm going off, or it's the 6 a.m. and the habit is hitting snooze because you want more sleep. So you get it. Emotion. I mean, we're here to talk about emotional eating. I think we all get this. But interestingly enough, this could be any uncomfortable emotion. And for you, that might look like frustration or anxiety or anger or happiness, joy. Like people feel uncomfortable feeling happy emotions as well as other more like sad and disruptive emotions. So it's very relative and personal to you. Certain person or personality. So maybe this is like every time your boss calls, all of a sudden you're like, where's the snack machine, vending machine, gotta go to the kitchen cabinets. Or every time the bank calls or like a bill payer calls, or maybe even your mom, I don't know, we're not trying to like hate on people, but it's just what's real for you. I know that sometimes my mom calls and I love her, but it makes me nervous. An immediately preceding event. So this could be like you getting into your car and leaving work. And automatically you get the craving of, I'm going to stop at this store. I'm going to stop at the grocery store. I'm going to stop at this fast food place. It could be you pulling into your driveway. It could be right after you get off the phone with someone. It could be the end of the day, just like finished work, that mental feeling of, all right, I have no more commitments today, and I'm craving a cocktail, and I'm going to have a cocktail, and I'm just giving other examples, and it helps me relax. All of these are just examples of cues that trigger our habitual loops. So I want you to think about that in the context of your binge eating, and I'm going to give you a minute or so, in just a couple seconds, to write down your triggers. I'm sure you're already thinking of them. But I'm going to also have you think of your rewards. So the thing that you get at the end of using food. These are just some examples, but I want you to think about what it is that you get, and it's usually a very short-term reward, something for the moment. It may help you de-stress. You may feel completely calm and de-stressed after binge eating. It's comforting. Helps you avoid pain or a discomforting situation, conversation, day, emotion. At the end of the day, I used to binge eat often after dinner when like nothing was going on, when I finished work, and all of a sudden I would feel lonely and sad, and I would feel sad for myself for feeling lonely. And so coping by eating would distract me from that feeling. A procrastination tool. I don't want to do this work. I don't want to go online and do my accounting. I'm going to go and eat. I really want something to eat right now. And then boom. end of the day to de-stress. I think that's a really common one. At some point, I started binge eating in the middle of the day, and that was a downhill slope for me. Anxiety relief, that's a huge one. Yes. All right. So this is the good part. So I wrote both. I know you guys on Facebook can't see, but I wrote, maybe you can see. Can I do a camera flip? All right, I'm going to do this for you, Facebook. I'm going to flip my camera, and you're going to see my screen. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes to write down as many as you can, your triggers and your rewards. This is super high tech, guys. This little situation I have going on right here. Holding the camera to see the computer screen. Hi. All right, I don't obviously have a very still arm. All right, I'm going to flip it back around, and I'm going to give you a couple more minutes. Oh boy, having a senior citizen moment. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to write down as many as you can, and then you know what I'm going to ask you for. I'm going to ask you to share some. I know it's scary. It's scary to acknowledge and admit this stuff to ourselves, step 1. And then admit it to another person, step 2. But I do feel like it's easier to share it with someone you don't know or who's been through it. Because even though it is super vulnerable, there's still something easier about it. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Couple more minutes. Oh, I'm gonna drink some coffee. I don't know if you guys can hear my stomach rumbling. So as you finish, just feel free to write it in the comments below so we can have a mini discussion. For me, great question. For me, location was a big one. So actually every time I would go to my parents' house, that would trigger me to binge eat, especially if I was sleeping over. Weekends would trigger me. Night, so I guess around like 8 or 9 p.m. It's really the immediately preceding event of finishing dinner, having a completely open evening. Another thing that would trigger me is not having to get up early for work the next day. That would trigger me. Any emotional discomfort, yeah, that easily. That's the emotional eating component, yes. That would be big triggers for me. Interestingly enough, if I had binged the day before, that also became a trigger for me. After work from around 7 until bedtime, weekends, similar. Ex-boyfriends, nostalgia, regret, very much thinking in the past, right? Which is interesting. Can you go into a little bit more yes, having like an argument with a friend where you're you're upset, they're upset, you don't want them to be mad at you, stress at work. Do you feel that it's a disconnecting coping mechanism, like you're trying to disconnect from those regretful thoughts, those nostalgic thoughts, maybe that certain person that was in your past? I feel like it's a very disconnecting mode, and you can compare it to like narcotic addictions, where it's you're trying to disassociate, you're trying to disconnect, you're trying to escape from the moment, from the feeling, from the situation, which is powerful. disconnecting from thinking about work. Thank you guys for your vulnerability so much. Okay, we did that. Definitely a disconnect, totally. Okay, so we're gonna move into the second practice. So, all right, before we do that, this awareness of your triggers and why you, like what reward you're looking for with the eating is something that you will continue to do. So now I want you to go forward from this workshop and add to that list when you realize, oh wow, this is a trigger for me. Like this, the things that happen right around you having an urge to binge, either the behaviors, the thoughts that you have, especially the events that are happening right around that or before that or leading up to that, I want you to bring awareness to that. And I want you to add it to this list because the more you're aware of it, yes, you may be able to see it coming. Sometimes you can't do anything about the triggers. They just are a part of life. Like life has triggers, period. And sometimes there's nothing to do about removing them and you can't hide from them, but you can certainly reframe that reward that you're looking to get from it to change your habit. So if you know what the trigger is and you know, okay, I really am feeling lonely. What's a way that you can feel comforted and not alone doing something else besides binge eating? So the urge is going to come around because that's just the habit. It's just what the brain is going to do for a little while. We have to work to unwire the trigger and the craving, and that will come with time, but you need to actively work at it. And if you can find other things that are going to satisfy that reward that you're needing, whether it's sleep, just getting a really good night's sleep, or finding satisfaction in work, or a healthy stress relief, talking out with a friend or a therapist, or even an action like I use movement. Movement is such a big part of this for me, guys, and it really helps to just de-stress and get out of my head and get into my body. Like get out of here and getting into here is what this is all about. And movement really allows that, even if it's just a walk, but my favorite is dancing. That is how we will start to dismantle this emotional eating and binge eating habit from one aspect. There's a couple of other aspects we take it to. So the next thing we're going to move into is breath work. So when you have that binge urge, there is a space there between the urge and you taking the action. And right now it might look like this. It might look like the urge to binge and the action, and there's no time in between. There's no space in that gap. It may look like urge act, like not even a thought to have a space to even consider it. And you may be resisting, you may be fighting yourself, you may be battling yourself, which actually just creates more electricity around that, creates a deeper, more ingrained habit, believe it or not. So we're working on finding a way to mind the gap, creating a little bit more space between the urge and the action and expanding it. And there's a few different ways that we can expand it. One is awareness, which we did just go through, knowing it's going to happen, but we really can't outthink this urge to binge because it takes place in a part of our brain which is kind of like the teenager part of our brain. It's the impulsive part of our brain that it's very primal. It gets ignited by like fight or flight. It gets ignited by fear. It gets ignited by excitement. It gets ignited by, oh, I want that shiny thing right now. And it actually doesn't have the parental controls on it. Do you know what I mean? So that part of our brain, it runs on its own. And when we have a binge urge, it gets turned on. It's called the amygdala. It's really fun to say. Say it with me. Amygdala. And the parental control part of our brain can actually turn off. And that is up here. The parental controls are right here in the front, the prefrontal cortex. And it's fun, interestingly enough, but also makes a lot of sense, the last part of our brain to develop as an adult. So it's no wonder that teenagers actually do make dumb decisions, because their literal parental executive control part of the brain is not fully functioned yet. So we need to give more power to this parental control. And that is actually the part of you that allows you to get up and go to the kitchen and get the food, or drive through the drive-through, or drive to the grocery store and put the food in the mouth. So even though the binge urge is really freaking strong and it feels impossible to sit with, and it feels so uncomfortable that you feel like you're gonna freaking just fall out of your face, it's actually, it can't make you get up out of your seat. It can't make you move your limbs. That comes from the parental part of the brain. So we're working on two different parts. You can't really think your way out of a binge urge. You can try really hard, but I find it's best to breathe or move or feel your way out of that. So we're trying to disconnect, like we're trying to not feel when we go and use food. So the opposite of that would be, let's feel as much as we can in this moment and know that it's not going to destroy us, and that we can sit with it and that it will pass. So what we're going to do right now is a breathwork technique that I do at the end of all of my warrior workouts, and it is a 2 times breathwork technique. So you're going to inhale for 2 seconds and then exhale double. So you're going to inhale for 2, exhale for 4, and then we're going to increase it to inhale 3, exhale 6, and then inhale 4, exhale 8. So we'll do this quickly together for a few breaths. And I want you to close your eyes, and if it helps, you're going to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, trying to get that belly hand to do the rising and the falling. So closing your eyes, you're going to inhale for 2 and exhale for 4. Inhale for 2, exhale for 4. Keep going. And in this space, you are feeling your body expand with the inhale and contract with the exhale. You're slowing down. Binge urges feel very chaotic, very on fast forward, very manic, very high-strung anxiety. But when you slow down and you connect to your breath, it takes you out of that fight or flight mode where the primal brain is urging and impulsing, and it gets us into a different part of our nervous system called rest and digest, or how I like to call it, grounded mode. If it feels natural, inhale to 3 seconds and exhale to 6 seconds. And you're just focused on the moment, on the action of the inhale and the exhale, and everything that your body is doing on that inhale and exhale. You can't really do it wrong or right. It's just you. And you're just allowing yourself to feel what it feels like to breathe. So I would do this for a couple seconds, minutes, moments, however long you need, until you feel, okay, I recognize there's a moment, there's space between my urge and what I do next. And I might still feel really freaking uncomfortable, and the urge may be screaming, but I'm not gonna die because I don't alleviate it with food. Open your eyes. Welcome back. My stomach's making so much noise. And we're gonna take this nice, calm, grounded energy and we're gonna move right into the next technique, which is incredible. I didn't discover tapping or the emotional freedom technique until this year, but I actually use it for everything. Anxiety, when my thoughts are just in a disempowering negative cycle. And believe it or not, when I have binge urges, I still will have very light binge urges, and it usually happens when I'm feeling really emotional, when I'm really freaking tired, when it's that time of the month, when I'm challenging myself to do something scary, like go on a Facebook Live. um, and I'll notice the urge to binge come up because it is still comfort. It is still this emotional technique that I could go to, but I have strengthened the habit to not do that, and it's not an option for me anymore. But I love this technique. It really is a way to get out of your head, get into your body in a way that uses acupressure points, meridian lines of your body. And we're going to be working with releasing energy through our breath work and through tapping. So I'm actually going to take you through a tapping meditation that I will do when I feel anxious, when I have a little bit of a binge urge, and I encourage all of my students in the Warrior Evolution to use this technique. So I actually have to get out of this for a hot second. So you can close your eyes during this, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the tapping technique, and then I am going to talk to you, and you are going to repeat out loud what I'm saying as you tap. So these are the places we're going to tap today. You can just use kind of just like a soft little tap sort of feeling. You can use one hand or two hands. You're going to tap on the top of your head. And then we're going to tap right above the eyebrows. And then we're going to go to the temples, on right under the eyes, like at the cheekbones. And we're going to go right above the upper lip. And then below the lower lip. Good. And then right at the clavicle. This one, we go right under the armpit, right where the bra line would be. And then the last one, we're going to tap our two wrists together, right there. And then we start again. So we just go in that cycle of tapping. And usually I switch where I'm tapping after every sentence that I say. So I'm going to say these statements out loud. And this is how we would approach the binge urge when you're having one, and using tapping to help us through it. All right, so you're going to close your eyes, and we're going to start at the top of the head together. Here we go. I accept how I feel, and I'm okay. I feel so out of control around food. What's wrong with me? I feel so guilty. It makes me feel so ashamed. It makes me feel helpless. I don't want to give in. But the urges I have no control over. It's embarrassing. I hate for anyone to find out. It's like my little secret. I sneak food and I eat when I'm not hungry. I can't stop eating. I feel out of control. Sometimes it feels as though there's another person who takes over my body. I'm fine 1 minute and then suddenly there's no turning back. Whatever's in the fridge or the pantry, I know I'm going to eat it. Even though I feel guilty when I'm finished, I can't control it. I feel so ashamed, I don't know how to stop. All of these behaviors and stress around food, trying to control what I eat. It feels as though it's taking over my life. Very good. Now I just want you to pause and breathe. So at this point, we are just acknowledging what we're feeling, what the binge urge is bringing on for us, that we feel this sensation and that it's okay, and we're just bringing acknowledgement and awareness to it. So I want you at this point to identify, if you had a binge urge, you would ask yourself, what's the sensation? And you would rate it. You would rate if that binge urge is on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being so extreme and so intense. Maybe when you started, it was a 10. And then we did this first part of the EFT. And now we're going to rate ourselves again. And maybe this time it's lower. So if it's lower than a 5, we are going to move into tapping on the positive. If it still feels between a 5 and a 10, you would repeat what we just went through and repeat that part again until you feel the urge decrease in intensity. Otherwise, you're going to feel some resistance going into the positive. So we want to just stay with the acknowledgement until we can get it down a little bit. So now we're going to move into the positive, and we're going to start again on the top of the head. All right, guys, here we go. These urges around food, these feelings that make me feel out of control, I'm ready to let them go. I'm ready to go back into control around food. I'm ready to release the guilt and pain so I can set myself free. I choose to make peace with my relationship with food. I don't need to eat everything. I can have some, and some can be enough. I'm ready to take back control around food, releasing all these urges and cravings to eat, these out of control sensations in my body. I'm letting them free. I choose to be in control around food. I make choices that nourish my body. I release any guilt and shame I feel. I feel empowered in my choices around food. I'm in control. I love and respect my body for all that it does for me. I feel empowered. I can be free. I feel empowered. I am free. I feel empowered around food. I am free from food. I feel empowered. I am free from food. I am free. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a big sigh through your mouth. And again, you're going to feel inside and taking note what that sensation level is now. You're aiming to get to a 2, a 1, and eventually a 0, and have that urge dissipate, or have that urge decrease enough to make a nourishing choice for yourself from a place of acknowledging what it is that you really need and having an action to do that right there. All right, so open up your eyes. I would love for you guys who are here to share just how that was for you. If you got anything from it, I'll give you a couple seconds to come back. And let me know how you feel after that. Isn't that wonderful? I feel so calm right now. I feel really good. Like at peace, mind is clear. Yes. Can finally take some deep breaths. Tension released from the shoulders, from the neck. You notice you carry tension there, absolutely. Feels empowering, taking control. Beautiful. Yes, guys. This is what you have available to you. You are powerful. You are in control. This is the practice. This is one technique that you can use any time of day. I actually think it's quite empowering to use it for anything. It doesn't have to just be for binging. Loved it. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I definitely hope that this is something that you can use going forward. Okay. So we're going to move from this very grounded state where I feel like I need to go sit in a bathtub right now and just totally meditate. All right. So you know what actually is going to help us? This is totally on the fly, but I want our energy to be up for the rest of this talk. So we're going to change our physicality right now. So we're feeling really good. We're feeling really calm, and we're going to get ourselves energized. So I got this from a Tony Robbins conference, and we're going to pump our arms, and we're going to breathe really deeply only in and out through our nose. And we're going to do it 30 times, and it's going to look like this. So I'll show you what it looks like, and it really gets your energy up. Okay, this is totally impulsive. All right, here we go. So you're going to pump your arms up and down and breathe in and out through your nose into the belly. So it looks like this. And you can smile if you do it. Okay, so we're going to do that 30 times together, and it's going to shift our energy. Are you ready? Set, here we go. Good. One more deep breath in. Out with a big sigh. All right. Now we're fueled. I hope you feel that got your energy up a little bit. Definitely did for me. And we're going to move into the final part of this workshop. And this last practice is kind of a no-brainer, but we talk ourselves out of it often. And that is to stop restricting food, for God's sakes, and start nourishing yourself with whole, nutritious foods that are going to satisfy your body and satiate your body. Because one of the reasons that we experience urges, whether it just exacerbates the urge or is the cause of it from the first place, is that when we restrict food, the brain and the hormones need to shift into survival mode. So if we restrict for, sometimes it could be a few hours, sometimes it's after a few days, the brain and the body is going to shift into survival mode, where it's saying, oh, I see what's happening. We're going into a famine. So we don't know when the next time we're going to be able to eat is. So the next time she sees food, the next time we see something, especially if it has a lot of sugar in it, because we know that sugar gives us energy, or if it has a lot of fat in it, because fat helps us sustain our energy for a long time, we're going to eat a ton of it. We're going to eat out it all because we don't know the next time we're going to get to feast like this. And our body needs to store that energy so that we survive. Listen, people, the body's main goal is to keep you alive. The brain's main goal is to keep you functioning. It does not give a crap about your weight loss goal, okay, for the wedding or for the bikini, or just because you aren't satisfied, you don't feel good at that weight. The brain really does not give two. Sorry to tell you. It just wants you to function. And it will slow your metabolism down to a snail's pace in order to make that happen. So when we restrict food, which feels so normal to do after a binge, and it feels so normal to do to prevent yourself from overeating, especially if we're eating out of fear, or especially if we're restricting out of fear, the body is going to do what it does best, which is what it's done for thousands of years. It's hard to argue with evolution. And it's going to create this evolutionary excess of giving us binge urges. So I've experienced this when I'm just restricting food. I've experienced this, on the smallest level, when you just haven't eaten all day and you are ravenous and you go in and you just eat all the things. Everything looks good, like you would eat your own finger if you could, because you are that hungry. So anything to fill you up. And this we repeat on and off, and it just perpetuates the cycle. And I know you know this, but I just know that the brain doesn't know it well enough until you start to experience it for the long haul. All right. So the truth about this is you need to learn to start trusting yourself. You need to learn to start trusting the inner wisdom that your body has and rebuilding that relationship. The best relationships have the best communication, but if you are ignoring your body or overriding it when it's giving you messages, that relationship is not going to thrive. And you need to learn what's right for you. What's right for you may not be what's right for me, but I can certainly guide you into relearning how to listen to those messages that your body is sending you. So tell me in the chat if this is making sense. And I know a bunch of you guys are with me. Yes, yes, I get it. It makes sense. Awesome. Thank you. So why are we here? We're here because we want to end our overeating habits. Stop feeling like things will never change. Going through the same yo-yos. You want to stop waking up bloated and swollen, in pain, feeling lethargic, and just starting over and over again. I'm sure the few of you that are here, it's not the first time that you've been on the starting line of saying, I'm going to overcome my emotional and binge eating struggles. I've for sure been there hundreds. All right, I can't say hundreds, but dozens and dozens of times. It feels like hundreds of times. You're tired of missing out on amazing moments of this one precious life. And if you feel like my life isn't so special, like it's not that exciting, the act of using food to cope and not feel the highs, or not feel the lows, also numbs your capability of feeling the highs. We don't get just to numb out the hard feelings. We also numb out. We lose the capacity to feel the joy and the connection and the happiness and the stuff that we really truly want. And basically, you're ready to start living it. To start living your life in whatever way that looks like that makes you happy. And that's what I want for my students. So it's your time now. It's your time now to fully experience your life without stress and emotional overeating holding you back. Listen, like the world is not getting any calmer. It certainly doesn't feel like that. And so looking outside of yourself for the answers, I feel like that is just time and time again going to lead us right back to where we began. It's time to start to trust your body, to looking inside of yourself for that wisdom of what's right for you and what's not right for you. Because the more you learn to trust yourself, your body, its messages, its signals, what it's telling you is going to nourish you now and later, the more that will start translating into other areas of your life. I fully believe that. It's your time to finally enjoy what life is like without your mind constantly thinking about food, with the guidance of a step-by-step guide or coach or something that's been there before that can help you walk that path. So everything I shared with you today are things that I personally have used and still practice, because once you get the tools, you keep them in the toolbox, guys. You take them out when they're needed. So these are things I teach to my students to have food freedom, to end emotional eating, to stop binge eating, to stop mindless eating. And I just want to make this clear. Even as a fitness professional, I don't have any advantages. I'm still a human. I still have to learn how to overcome my struggles. I still have to create the tools and the things and the soul care and the self-care that's going to help me. I am not immune to binge eating. I'm not immune to addiction. I am still a human, even though my profession happens to be in the wellness industry. So if I can do this, so can you. If my students can do this, so can you. Boom. So I want to introduce, this is my program. I just launched it. I'm so excited about it. And I really love the cupcakes with the sparklers in them. Like, they're just the cutest things ever. But this program is a 6-month, this is a 6-month access to this program, which is an online experience to help you stop binging and emotional eating for good, like for good. Enough of this is enough. It's your time right now. So we got a whole lot going on. It's really awesome. I'm going to get into the details of what is in this program, but you can see there's a fitness component, there are videos, there's a whole membership portal for you that you get to log into and take yourself through the lessons. There's group calls. I'm getting ahead of myself. And of course, there's orange cupcakes. But I want to tell you about Anne. So Anne was one of my students last year, and she'd been battling overeating for 15 years. Since she was a teenager, basically. Over-exercising, like using exercise to punish herself, feeling hopeless, like gave up so many times in the past. She tried everything: therapy, medication, nutritionists, diets, personal trainers, and she would go up in weight and down in weight, up in weight and down in weight, and she just never could get through this behavior of using food to binge eat. She didn't know how much she was betraying her body and mistrusting it by her overeating habits, by her binge eating habits. And through the course, she realized that the trust piece is what was missing. So now, we don't focus on weight during this program, but she was really proud of the 7 pounds that she did lose and was able to maintain. And maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, but listen, the behavioral change for allowing no more binging and for the body to just naturally release the weight without focusing, without trying. We always put weight loss on the back burner. If it happens, it's a cherry on top. So now she notices and disrupts her binge urges before she acts on them. She practices the techniques every single day. She fuels her body throughout the day so that she doesn't get trapped in that binge urge mode. And if she does have a binge, like throughout the program, I talk about this all the time. In recovery, you're going to have binges. You're going to relapse, and it's totally normal, and it's totally part of it because you learn they become shorter, they become less intense. You stop yourself in the middle of it. You don't eat the same foods during the binge. It's really incredible to see the progress that she has made. I am so, so proud of her. And then this other client, Samantha, who was my student last year as well, used to restrict throughout the whole day. She wouldn't eat her first meal until like 4 p.m. and then she would binge eat all night long until she would fall asleep. And she was literally afraid to do anything different because she was maintaining her weight by doing this. But she felt like crap. She would wake up late. She would feel so lethargic, like, that brain fog feeling. She couldn't even think straight. She always felt like she was walking around in just like this fog. So she felt like she could control her weight by her method, but she really wasn't happy. She would miss days of work. She would cancel like social events. She was mortified when this new guy that she was dating found like her empty food bags that she was hiding. And she basically said like, enough's enough. I need to do something about this. So now she still has not gained any weight since releasing her fear of forbidden foods, and she does include her forbidden foods in a healthy way. Sorry. She practices the unconditional permission to eat. She does not eat at night anymore. Like she doesn't do the nighttime binging anymore. She eats throughout the day. She has a satisfying dinner, and if and when she wants to eat a dessert, she does, and that's it. Puts it away. And then her other biggest proud moment was doing a movement program every single day, which she does with the 22-minute warrior workouts or some other movement practice that she does as well. But her consistency of moving her body every day and relying on that practice to set her mind right, to shift her mood, has been like her foundation. So that was awesome. Okay, so what do you get access to? So you get access to 20 plus hours of pre-recorded videos that you can watch throughout. There's 3 different phases that I'm going to introduce you to, but there are tons of video lessons that are talking about specific topics, taking through specific practices. You can do it at your own pace. You also get access to the warrior workouts, woo woo, which are on demand, and they're in the membership portal. So you sign in and you get them, and I lead them. It's a 22-minute workout. There are beginner workouts, there are more intermediate and advanced workouts, and I actually record them live every day. So you have the option of like doing the workout with me live, which is awesome accountability. To sign in every day, 9:30. There's a small group of us who meet on Zoom literally every morning at 9:30 and do the workout together. So that's super fun. And I love doing it with you guys. Like, these are my workouts. This is what I do. So bi-weekly group coaching, accountability calls on Zoom. So 2 times a month, we meet, we have a group coaching call. We spend time addressing a specific topic. This is when we really do like group interactive coaching. Then you also talk to me one-on-one once a month during office hours. So 3 times a month, we have like face-to-face interaction live, unless you're doing the warrior workout, then you get me every day. We have a private community, which is for accountability, which is for inspiration, which is just connecting with other like-minded women. There's so much power in community when you see people doing and making changes. It is like the momentum it creates is the best kind of momentum there is. In the program, there's also audios, there's visualizations, there's other meditations, there's other EFT videos, other tapping videos that I've recorded for you. There is more breathwork techniques. So each week I introduce you to a new technique that you can try on and apply and see if you love it, see if it's not for you. And that is to help you work through those urges. So we work through the urges and we work on eliminating the urges completely as well. There's also tons of worksheets and exercises in these videos for you to do practical application in real life. The thing I keep hearing over and over is, I know what to do, I just don't do it. Like, especially when it's hitting the fan and the dogs are barking and the kids are crying and my husband is like, I don't know where, and the smoke alarm's going off because I'm burning something on the stove. Like, how do I make time for myself during that? So how to make this actually work for you? That's what this program's tailored for. Real life applicable things. I also love journaling, so we do a lot of that too. So this is the Warrior team, and this is the community that you'll be joining in the Warrior workouts with me. So you get 6 months access to this, and these are my girls. I just love them so much. They've made incredible progress just doing the 22-minute workouts with me. So that's what you'll be doing. If you want to, it's just an option, but I highly encourage it because it's really, really fun. And I do the workouts live Monday through Friday at 9:30, or you can do them completely on your own time from your home anytime you want. Like, especially if you're on a different time zone, it makes the most sense because I know I have some students in California, so that's 6:30 their time, and some of them don't have to get up that early. So they do it on their own time, which is great. And it's a login, you have a username and password and everything you get access to. So at the end of the program, what's the goal here? Getting the F out of survival mode, okay? That's a mode that we are getting you out of within the first few weeks so that you can make clear, nourishing food choices and your binge urges are not getting activated because you are just not getting enough energy and calories. We're going to stop acting on emotional eating triggers. So we're going to dive into the triggers, identify those emotions, and really work on feeling safe while being with those emotions. We're going to learn to nourish what your body is truly craving. Do you need a nap? Do you need a hug? Do you need to face some serious hard that you just aren't ready to face yet? And how can you start to break through that scary thing? You're going to feel energized. You're going to feel vibrant. You're going to feel clear-headed and at peace with your mind and your body. You're going to develop a solid foundation of moving your body every day, whether it's the warrior workouts or just walking or dancing around your house. And the trust piece, learning to trust the messages and the signals that your body is sending you because your body knows what you need. It's wise. And we just need to learn to listen and trust. I want my students to feel like the freedom to enjoy their life without the stress of food. That includes a random Monday, a random Friday, a holiday, an event, any of that, without the stress of food weighing them, distracting them from being present. I want your mind and body's partnership for connection and trust. The second phase is all about partnership and developing that relationship. I want you to have more free time to do what you love, for God's sakes. The gardening that you mentioned, just being with friends, connecting, because your mind is free. It's not thinking or obsessing about food anymore. And I want you to expand your capacity for joy, even for the littlest things, the things that we know, especially after the last year. Those little things are the things that really matter the most. Those little moments. Okay, so these are the phases. So phase 1 is all about awareness, and we literally spend 4 solid lessons, and you can, I used to do 4 weeks, but now it's even longer. It's more like we spend 6 solid weeks on awareness, and you take yourself through this for as long as you need to, but there are videos about getting out of survival mode, what your brain is like when you're binging, how to overcome after a binge, and how to take a step forward on the right foot, grounding practices, releasing practices, breaking your patterns, bringing awareness to your triggers, to your habits, to your patterns, how to start to shift some of these to help yourself move forward. This is a powerful phase. Phase 2 is all about partnership. Now we take the awareness and we bring it here. Self-care, soul care. What does that look like? Where are you missing out those pieces for yourself? How do you start to listen to your body's cues? Like, what does it sound like when your body is knocking and saying, hey, I'm actually really missing hanging out and having like hardcore belly laughs with my friends. And I know it sounds like I'm telling you to go eat food right now, but really, I just want to be with my friends and laugh my butt off. That's what I need. I need my girlfriends. Or when you're just tired because you haven't slept well in days or weeks, and it sounds like go to the kitchen cabinet and get food right now, and just those cookies sound amazing and chocolate. And instead your body's like, but wait, I'm actually telling you, I really just need a nap and I need a solid night's sleep and we need to go to bed early tonight and take care of ourselves. So how do we start to like learn that language of our body and what it's telling us that we need? And the third phase is all about empowerment. We're taking those 2 phases and we're building on them. We're bringing it forward with us, getting deep, going deep, breaking through the beliefs that are keeping you from making these habits solidified. This is the thing, guys. If it's not this, then what? Like these next 6 months, your choice, but like could completely transform how you think about food, how you show up in your life, and break this pattern, break this relationship with binge eating, like for all. You really rewrite who you choose to be and how that version of you shows up in her life, whether she's waking up in the morning or going to bed at night or whatever you do in between. It's a powerful phase. Love this phase. My facial expressions in some of these videos are crazy. Oh, I kill myself. All right. Now that it is, I mean, it's seriously epic. I'm just going to just say it because I'm proud of it. So I'm going to get to this in a second, but I'm going to make a really great gift offering to you. And I just wanted to let you know that if you sign up today, you get really cool bonuses. So I have a custom warrior yoga mat that you can use when you do the warrior workouts. I use it every single morning. It says, "Wake up your warrior," in this beautiful like gold lettering. I love it. It's on the website if you guys haven't seen it. And so you'll get a customized yoga mat. You'll get this beautiful engraved bracelet that you can wear with a powerful phrase on it that will remind you every single time you look at it what you're doing this for, why you're doing this, and that you're stronger than this moment. And then I just love writing handwritten notes, so I'll send you a handwritten note from me welcoming you to the program. And then you'll also be able to get a free 45-minute one-on-one call with me before you even start, which will kind of kick off you on the right plan, on the right pattern. So what's this blueprint that we're going to go through the next 6 months with, and how to tailor that? I can help you tailor that a little bit more to you. So it's like a strategy call, and people usually love it. They get a lot out of it. They feel like very excited and clear about where they're going. Okay, so to see all the details, to see all of the beautiful yoga mat and the bracelet, you're gonna go to this website. I think I included it here. Yes, it's thewarriorEvolution.com/TWT. I can write it in the comments, but it's right here for you guys. And you should be able to open the link from there. And you can see all the details to enroll. So my question to you is, are you ready to overcome this? Come on. Are you ready to beat this? I know you're asking me this question. What's the investment? I'm getting to it. All right. So just to put it in perspective, working with me one-on-one for virtual personal training is about $1,100 a month. To do one-on-one binge eating virtual coaching with me is a package, which is $3,000 a month. But the Warrior Evolution program is not that much. The other thing that I thought was powerful is, do you know what the average binge cost is? It's about $30 US. And the cost of eating, I don't know what that would be in euros, but I guess it would, I forget what the exchange rate is. But the cost of binge eating one time a week for an entire year is $1,500 if you binge one time a week at $30. And binge eating 2 times a week, which I definitely did, go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of stuff to binge eat on, adds up to being $3,120 a year. What? Holy crap. Like, that's a ton of money. That's like 2 months New York City rent, I just want to say. Or a pretty awesome vacation. So the Warrior Evolution is valued, the program is valued at $3,500, like with all of the things that you get, the videos and the warrior workouts and the one-on-one calls. But today is an early bird price, which is freaking exciting. And for the next 3 days, this price is available. That's it. And then it goes away. It goes to full price after this. So the early bird price is $9.97 for the 6-month access. The pay in full is $12.97, but for you guys, if you wanted to sign up in the next 3 days, you'll save $300 and it's $9.97. I also have a payment plan available, which is also discounted. So instead of 6 payments of $233. It's only 6 payments of $182. So once a month, you pay the $182, or you could choose to pay in full and do the $997, which is actually the best value, hands down. So go see the rest of the details, thewarriorevolution.com/TWT. I believe, yeah, I just want to make sure you guys can see the link. And just, it's super easy. If you want to enroll, you just hit the enroll button. There's tons of information there for you to read. So if you're a reader, go for it. And then when you're ready to enroll, hit enroll, and then it's going to take you to the checkout page. You can choose the pay in full or the payment plan and hit checkout. It's a secure page for your credit card. I believe you can choose credit card or PayPal, I believe. And then you'll get access immediately. I'll send you an email and you will be invited into our Facebook group. You'll also get an email with your, to sign up and create your login, your username and password to get into the membership portal, where you'll have full access to the beginning part of the program, like about the first phase is where I want you guys to start. I want you to get too ahead of yourself. So you have full access to phase 1, all of the warrior workouts that are up there, visualizations, the meditations, everything like that. I'm actually officially starting the program on September 13th. So you'll just have this extra time to really, like, you have bonus week for the most part. And then, yeah, so I'll send you that email with the warrior team workout information, your login, you'll create your username and password. I keep the link on my phone so I can easily access it anytime, or my computer. So for the next 3 days, so today is Saturday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be the last day for this early bird price, and it's $99.97, which you save $300 off the full price, which is pretty excellent. So it's 6-month access, you guys. I know you're gonna have questions. I'm gonna give you a second to let the questions come through, but I know that some of you guys are wondering, like, I never follow through on things. How will I stick to this? I'll just say the group coaching calls and the one-on-one call with me is exactly how that's different. That's how you stick to this. I don't let people hide. I don't let people like sign up for things and not see them ever again. I am reaching out to you. I keep this group small on purpose so that I can be with you and really see how you're doing throughout this entire thing. Thanks, Kat, so much. Okay, awesome. Yeah, just reach out to me if you have questions. You can send me a DM on Facebook. I'm so glad that you were able to spend this time with us. I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad you loved it. All right, so another common question is, should I wait until after the world becomes calmer? There's so much uncertainty in the world, and my only real talk to that is, I don't know if the world's gonna get any calmer than it is today. And aside from that, I want to be able to trust myself, my inner wisdom, and be able to get through hard moments without escaping to food, without using it as a coping mechanism. Like, I know it's going to be hard AF, but the more that I can practice being in the moment for the highs and the lows, the more I will feel empowered to take on my life and to, like, keep my feet on the ground. And I don't want to use food anymore to escape from that. Like, I want to be here for that. And that's my answer for that. So look at these beautiful faces. Join us now. These warrior team girls. Oh, I love them. Oh, look, this is really cool. So every month I create an accountability calendar that you can, like, put a little GIF of your face in, just to check off that you moved your body that day. It doesn't have to be a warrior workout. It could be like a 20-minute walk or literally a dance party around your house, because I'll do that with you. And so that just is an accountability check off. And then we share our calendars all the time in the Facebook group. This picture over here on the left is from one of the group calls from the last group that went through. And we do this ceremony, or it's like a ritual where we will write a practice, a thought, a belief that's holding us back that we want to let go of. And we write it down and we burn it safely. And we light it on fire and we release that fear, that belief, that thing that's no longer serving us. I love that group coaching call. Oh, I can't wait to do that with you guys. Yeah, so excited. So go to the website, check out all the details. I worked really hard on this site. So the more you like to read, the better. There's a ton more information there, and I am always available for questions. DM me on Facebook. You have my email address. So any of that, I am here. I am ready for the cues. You're so welcome, Celine. Thank you for coming. Thanks, guys. All right. You know what I'm excited for? Lunch. Yeah, it's a completely online program. You can access it from anywhere. It doesn't matter what time zone you live in. You do it on your own time. The group coaching calls, I make them different times so that like you have the best chance of coming and so that you can make it live. If you can't make it live, I actually will have you submit a question beforehand and I'll answer it on the call, even if you're not there, so that you can rewatch it and you can chat with me about it afterwards. Good question. Yes, so the early bird pricing only is the next 3 days, and then it will go up to full price, and then the program enrollment closes after that. So it's going to be open for another, I guess, 5 more days in total. And then enrollment closes and it won't open again until next year. Mm-hmm. The warrior workouts are included, yes. Yep, there's beginner workouts. There is an entire week of beginner workouts where I really take you through everything super slowly. And those are always available. You can do them anytime. And then there's also tutorials on all the exercises as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope this was valuable. Please share this if it is. And yes, please, I'm available for questions. So all good. I'll see you soon. Bye.